bodybuilding is being sculpting, you don't want to just look massive. They like to see a tight waist on the guys and broad shoulders. A lot of that is genetic. However, if you build out the shoulders, head of the deltoid especially, it makes you look wider, and obviously dieting will shrink you down. Corey Everson was a multi-winner of Ms. Olympia bodybuilder before the women got really big. She often said one of the big mistakes ladies make in doing their abdominal exercise are doing some of the exercises, too many of the exercises for the obliques, which thickens out their waist.
As a commitment, as a workout, as a health issue, bodybuilding has terrific effect on the human health. And in my opinion, it is a perfect avenue to get in shape, to stay healthy. There is also the gray area of bodybuilding when anabolic steroids can take it too far and do more damage than good.
The different steroids being used, some are injectables, others are pill form, and then as you get closer to competition you can get different kind of steroids, which is a cutting up steroid, which and one will hold water and help shred your body. So that's one illegal aspect.
A lot of female bodybuilders will note that their female genitals, particularly clitoris, will start swelling and will start eventually resembling a male penis. Obviously it will never become one. Steroids are not the only medications bodybuilders will use during their bodybuilding careers and especially competitions. And one of the main is to lose water. Unfortunately, Lasix has a side effect. It washes out potassium from human body, and that can deplete potassium to a very dangerous level, causing improper firing of the muscles as well as firing of the nerve impulses.
You have cravings because you're not eating, and each guy has a different craving. Mine was chocolate. I always wanted chocolate during those times. Guy drove into the grocery store next to me in his old car, and I was in my truck and I looked out and I saw he had a milkshake, a chocolate milkshake from Dairy Queen. And the thought went through my mind, I want that milkshake. Not I want a milkshake, I want that milkshake. Is prior to going out on stage, for the prejudging, is to go into the pump-up room. And in the pump-up room, there are weights. So that's one thing that they're going to be doing to make sure they look good. The spray painting. It's really amazing if you see a competitor away from the stage, and you say, boy, they look really dark. And then you see them on the stage with the light shining on them. And now they don't look so dark because those lights are so bright. So they do the tanning. And then lastly, there is some sort of oil, baby oil, PAM or something that goes over top of that. It creates a shine, but not too much of a shine. You don't want to create a glare, but you want to shine to the muscles so that the judges can see all of your definition. They may have somebody there doing their makeup and their hair for them. So for the girls, it's a whole gamut of all those aspects tied together, not just looking fit. And of course for them the suits are extremely expensive, several $100s in cost, and they're tailor-made to fit them. Whereas the men, they get a pair of posing trunks, they put them on, their body parts are covered, they're good to go. Peaking is something that everybody worries about. They're hoping that on the day of the competition they look their best. The first thing is what we said, the relaxed pose, and they're looking for symmetry. And by symmetry I mean, is your upper body matched with your lower body? How does your bicep and your tricep look? Or do you have all three heads of the deltoid looking good? So when they're looking at front double bicep, the guy's hitting both arms up like this, and he's got one foot out to the side so you can see the thigh. You're seeing the bicep, and you're also seeing the abs on that person. So you're looking for the tie-in. So they're judging that. When you look at the bicep, do you have a peak on the bicep? Is it like this? So they're looking at different muscles, and not only how well they're developed, but how well they tie in with the others, and so that you look balanced. Some judges are looking for guys who are really massive. Other people are looking for people who are more symmetrical. To help and aid in the fairness, if they have a lot of judges, they discount the top 2 scores and the bottom 2 scores. They throw those out. And the person with the lowest number of points wins. It's like golf. The last one that I won was in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And one of the guys I was competing with there was a guy who was from the area. And I thought, uh-oh, what's going to happen here? And I said, well, let's just see what happens. People pay their money to see this, and they want to be entertained. And so he said, this is what you're going to do. We did Phil Collins' I Can't Sing, I Can't Dance. And there's a section that says, the only thing about me is the way I walk, so you do this pimp walk across the stage. And they don't expect to see old people do that. Had a couple of moonwalks in there, which they didn't expect. And then at one section it says, hot sun making me sweat, and I turned to the judges and went like that, like I was throwing sweat on the judges. And people loved it, and I did win. So, you know, of course when you win, you always think it's fair. Francois competition is really a great thing to have here in Central Ohio. And what's really great about it is that Mike has been a winner of the Mr. Olympia, the top thing of bodybuilding, which is what Arnold Schwarzenegger won so many years in a row and made famous. And Mike won that. And then he came back here to Columbus, stayed active in bodybuilding, and then he offers a venue for people who want to compete and brings some really top level bodybuilders, figure fitness competitors. There were a lot of really, really good competitors. My son's friend's major competed for the first time and did really, really well. He finished second in one of his groups that he was in and would have been first had he been able to come in a little tighter and a little sharper in his legs and a little more definition.
Obesity has become one of the major health issues in the United States. There are more obese people in America than anywhere else in the world. We see the bodybuilding community where obesity is non-existent. One has to make a connection with that. The commitment that bodybuilders bring into their lives is just incredible. If any of the people out in the community had 10% of the commitment that bodybuilders carry every single day, we would not have obesity in our community.
You'd have one of those little wood chops, click, and I start.
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
Action.
Action.
Just walking around. Hot sun is making me sweat. Get